Hello there guys, and welcome to another one of my real life range tests. And today we are in the presence of a very important car for a very important manufacturer. I'm talking about this car, of course, this one. I'm talking about the BMW i7. This is the first time BMW made an electric 7 Series, and I am incredibly curious to find out just how far this car can travel on a single charge, considering it has a weight of 2.7 tons. Yes, I opened with that because this is an incredibly heavy car. But there are some reasons as to why it has such a large weight to carry around, and we're going to talk about that in the in-depth review of the car. But today we are here to just take it out for a spin and see just how far you can travel with a single charge. And as usual, I'm going to show you around the car a little bit, then we're going to travel on a series of B roads. We already covered a couple of kilometers already. Then we're going to hop on the highway, and then we're going to finish the range test with the inner city test. And we're going to reach some conclusions, obviously. So let's kick things off with the short presentation of the car and its specs. This is the new BMW 7 Series, or in electric, guys, this is the new BMW i7. And in terms of design, well, what hasn't already been said? It has been controversial, to say the least. I'm not gonna say if I like it or not. I'm just gonna let you guys decide, because this video isn't about this car's design, even though I do like this animation happening over here with these crystal Swarovski lights. Yeah, these are the daytime running lights, by the way, on the top side of the car. Yeah, we have the M Sport package here and a matte finish for the paint job. It's pretty good looking overall. Yeah, I said I'm not gonna tell you guys if I like it or not, but let's talk about the technical side of things. So this is the BMW i7 xDrive60. xDrive60 means you have a total of 544 horsepower delivered from 2 electric motors, one on each axle, and a total of 745 Newton meters of torque. Now, in the floor of this car, you will find a battery that has a usable capacity of 101.7 kilowatt hours, 102 kilowatt hours. Pretty big, one of the biggest in the industry right now. And according to BMW, this battery should allow you to travel up to around 600 kilometers with a single charge. That remains to be seen. But I have to admire the design of the car from the A-pillar backwards. I think it looks pretty awesome. Yeah, in terms of specs, what's left to say? Oh yeah, the car will do 100 kilometers an hour in 4.7 seconds, despite its huge weight. And it has a top speed of 240 kilometers an hour. And at that speed, I'm guessing the battery will run out in about half an hour. But yeah, so there's plenty of tech on this car. I'm not going to go into it. For example, you can open the car's doors in a number of ways. You can use the remote control. You can use the traditional method. I can't believe I'm calling it that. Or, of course, we have soft close. Or if you want to, you can just press this button over here and the door will open itself. Yeah, that's the kind of tech I'm talking about. This is the rear portion of the car, the rear seats. The total length of the car is 5.4 meters, and it's 2.2 meters wide with the mirrors, so it's pretty big. It did grow a lot compared to the previous 7 Series, and you can only have it in this, guys. There's no more short wheelbase version. Of course, that rear passenger seat will extend in lounge mode, and we also have the TV over here. Yeah, BMW basically said, you know what, we're gonna put a TV in the car. So yeah, plenty of tech. As I told you, we are going to dissect it all in the full review of the car. For now, let's hop in and take a closer look at the energy consumption numbers we have. So Right now the car has 90% of the battery left. As I said, we did cover some ground already, and we have an average energy consumption of 17.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers covered already, with an average speed of around 70 kilometers an hour. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going on this B road we're on, and cover about 50 kilometers in total and do an update once we're done. Then we're gonna hop on the highway, keep it at 130 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit over here, for about 50 kilometers, do an update afterwards, and then we're gonna go into the one of the busiest cities in Europe, and we're gonna try and find out just what kind of energy consumption figures we can get in there. As for the weather, well, pretty great conditions. The exterior temperature is close to 21 degrees Celsius, so we don't really have to use AC, but we will use AC in order to keep the numbers in line with the rest of the cars tested. And we are running on winter tires, which won't really help. That said, let's set off and let's do an update after we finish the B-road section. Okay, so we just finished the B-road section of our real-life range test. Let's take a look at the numbers. So we covered 44 kilometers in 42 minutes. That's a roughly an average speed of 60 kilometers an hour, and we have an energy consumption figure of 19.1 kilowatt hours. It was 19 when I pulled over to shoot this video, and we still have 85% of the battery left. Now, considering the car has a usable battery capacity of almost 102 kilowatt hours, that means we got an estimated range of about 534 kilometers at this pace, which is pretty nice. Still not the 590 BMW claims, but it's pretty darn close. Now we're gonna hop on the highway, drive it at 130 kilometers an hour, and see what kind of results we get. Let's go. Okay, so we just finished the highway section of our real-life range test. Let's take a look at the numbers before they change completely. So as you can see, we covered 74.8 kilometers in 41 minutes, and the average energy consumption listed here is 25.2 kilowatt hours, but when we hopped off the highway it was closer to 26. We still have 64% of the battery charge left, and the estimated range remaining is 278 kilometers, but the temperature did drop a bit down to 18 degrees Celsius. That said, this should give us a range of close to 400 kilometers at highway speeds, which is pretty good for a car of this size and with this kind of power. Now, all that's left to do is go inside a very busy city right here in Eastern Europe. We're talking about Bucharest, of course, and we're gonna drive this car for 100 kilometers to see what kind of range we get inside the city center. So stay tuned for the final update. So we just finally finished the inner city real life range test with the BMW i7 xDrive60. And I have a couple of differences compared to my other range tests. This time I went a bit overboard. I forgot about the range test and I covered 204 kilometers with this car in about 6.5 hours. So an average speed of about 30 kilometers an hour. Let's take a look at the numbers I got. As you can see, the average energy consumption listed here is 23.7 kilowatt hours. Right now we're charging the car and the exterior temperature I wanted to show you is 20 degrees Celsius. So pretty ideal conditions. But I didn't cut on any creature comforts. I used sport mode a number of times. And I think this is a realistic value for the i7. That said, this would give you a range of about 430 kilometers around town with a single charge, which is pretty good. So overall, 430 kilometers around town, 400 on the highway, and about 500, over 500 on B roads. So yeah, pretty good numbers for the BMW i7 xDrive60. Now all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, press the bell icon, and you will be notified when I upload the full review of this car. Until next time, don't forget to feed your passions. Ciao.